Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Into the Breach. This is Venomous Cat here. So, a little bit disclaimer. I've actually switched over to my main profile, the one that I've kind of put most of my time in before I started recording it. So you'll notice, if I go into squads, I have quite a few squads unlocked. Just a couple more. I don't have the Steel Judoka and the Hazardous mechs unlocked. Now, I also have quite a few time travelers that we haven't unlocked in the other account. I figured we'd go to this one simply to just because I have more options, right? And I want to be able to show you guys more things we can do with this game. So kind of continuing with what we were doing, we did do a game with the Rustling Hulks. Now I think we should just we didn't get the win here, but let's go over to the Zenith Guard. I've only won a 2-island or a 3-island run per se with these guys. I will say, disclaimer, is that the reason I was able to win is because I was able to get the freeze ray on the defense mech, and that ability just carries games. But we're gonna actually stick with Abe here. This is who I started the last mission with. We're gonna stick him on the charge mech. Now, Abe is his ability is his mech gains armored. So on the charge mech, whose ability is to it shoots at a target. And normally it would damage yourself, but with Abe, because he has the armor, that self-damage, that one self-damage, totally negated. So really useful. So that's kind of how the charge mech works. We also have the laser mech. It fires a piercing beam that decreases in damage the further it goes. So right up close, it's going to deal up 3 starting damage, and then tapers off to 1. And then we also have the defense mech. So its main movement ability is the attraction pulse, so that can pull an enemy towards you 1 tile. And then we also have the shield projector. So only 2 uses per battle, but it shoots two shields. So that can shield either our buildings or our own guys, if you see the little video there. So we have some achievements that we haven't unlocked. We have the glittering C-beam, so hit 4 enemies with a single laser. And we also have shield mastery, so block damage with shield 4 times in a single battle. This one is relatively hard, but I think we should be able to get this one. Especially, I believe if we upgrade the shield projector, we can get it to be able to get more uses out of it per battle. So Abe also is going to start with 1 mech move, so really useful on the charge mech, kind of getting able to get into position. And I think we should, let's give it a go. Now we're definitely going to be trying to look for something to replace the attraction pulse on the defense mech. It's really one of the weaker options that we can have. But for the starting island, it'll kind of do fine, I believe. And yeah, if we look here, yeah, we can definitely up the use. We can also up the area, so that could be useful, but also not so useful because that could potentially give it to the enemies. We saw that in our last game with the Rustling Hulks, and that can make things a little bit trickier. Alright, so let's see what we're facing here. Okay, so it looks like all of them have movement stopping ones. We have the Beetle Leader, the Spider Leader, the Firefly Leader, and the Goo Leader. Alright, let's actually start. I was going to say start at the RST Corporation because the charge mech can really make things relatively easy, but let's start at Archive, right? We're only dealing with leapers. Yeah, let's start here, and the goo is not so hard. We do 3 damage with the laser mech, so we can definitely do a decent chunk of damage. So looking at here, we're probably just going to go Storage Vaults, Remembrance Point, and then we'll go for these 2 Reputation areas. So let's start here at the Storage Vaults. We are defending the tanks. I like this mission. Any mission that gives you extra guys to work with makes things relatively easy. Alright, so let's look where our leapers are going to go, right? So if we position ourselves farther away from them, we know that they're not going to target us. So we probably want to do that. So probably at least one of them is going to go for the tank. I'll say we probably want to go like something like this, right? We'll go back here. We can kind of put him around here because he has the ability to charge, and he has the extra movement. And we'll kind of just put our defense mech back here right next to the laser mech. Sounds good to me. Alright, so 2 leapers and a firefly. Yeah, we kind of saw that one leaper go in there. And he's just going to stay aiming for the tank. Alright. So, right off the bat, if we... Just the first thing I kind of see, if we move the charge mech to this spot here, right? We can charge into this leaper, killing it. And he'll take no damage from this firefly here. So unfortunately, yeah, now we could just try and go for shielding things, but I think just trying to kill these leapers off, since we don't want to restrict our movement any more than we have to, is probably the best option. So I don't think our defense mech's gonna be doing much. We'll probably we do have to keep in mind that right now our laser mech does damage buildings, so we have to set up our shots a little bit more carefully. So I think let's do what we were originally thinking of. We'll move here, right, and we'll kill that. And that leaves us free to go here and kill that leaper. And I don't think we need to do anything with the defense mech. Let's kind of just move him. Let's move him right up around here, right? Just kind of get him in position to deal with these guys a little bit better. All right. Alright, so just some more fireflies, not too terrible. So we don't really necessarily want to move out of this guy's way, because we aren't really taking any damage if we just do nothing here, but we do have a sweet little shot lined up. So what I think we can do... Now, unfortunately, we don't have the movement. We might have to just... shield the tank here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, we also have to keep in mind that our laser mech does damage our own guys. So until we get that upgrade, we're gonna have to keep that in mind. So, I mean, we could just move out of this. I mean, she's just shooting here. We really just have to deal with these two, right? How much does that do damage? 2? What's our attack order? Okay, so this guy's attacking first. That's actually pretty good for us. We would be able to just kill this guy before he damages the tank. So then we're really only dealing with this guy. However, I'm not sure. I guess we might have to just shield, which isn't a bad thing. So why don't let's do that, right? So we'll go here. Do something like that. Oh. Alright. Well, that's a little bit different than what we anticipated. So let's actually... I think we have to reset here. I forgot that hitting him into this guy would have just killed him right away. Because the laser mech's only going to do 2 damage here, 1 damage here. And we can't use the laser mech to shoot this way, because it's just going to hit the tank. We don't want to lose any of the reputation that we can get, right? Let's think about this, right? Let's say we did the same move. Let's think about if we did the same move. So this guy dies. This guy would then die to the laser mech. And then we could... Then we just shield the tank and block a spawn. That actually doesn't seem that terrible. Maybe we didn't actually need the reset. Yeah, so let's do that. We didn't actually need to use the reset there. Yeah, that works. And we're blocking a spawn, which is always helpful. Always helpful. And I believe... I can't remember if... I think it's the tanks come online on... It's either this turn or the last turn. I keep trying to remember. Oh, yep. So there we go. So now we have the extra ability to push things, which is going to be helpful. So now we have the Shell Scion, though. So everything's going to take 1 less damage. Basically, everything gains armor. However, I think we're still okay here. Let's kind of think about what we want to do first. So... if we... I'm trying to think how we can use our defense mech here. Could shield. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have the movement to kind of wrap around and maybe hit both of these at the same time. Same thing with this guy. And we don't want to put the tank here. Like, we could potentially push this Firefly onto the spawn, and then he'd shoot into nothing, but the Archive tank would have to sit on the Emerging Vec, and it would die. And we do not want that. We know we're definitely moving this guy. Maybe we just use him to shield. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think we do something like this, right? We kill the Blast Scion, make everything easier to kill. And then what we can do is this guy sits right here. We can use the tank. Now he's not hurting anything, so we could ignore him, but we might as well just kill him. And then... yeah, see, that's tricky because, I mean, we could just move the defense mech back here and then shield this area and then move our tank. But either way, this tank can't move this Firefly because he'd have to sit on one of these, and we don't want to do that. Do we shield the tank or do we shield the building? We could just kind of keep the tank where it is. Let's shield the tank here. That way we don't really have to do anything with him. We can just keep him there. So we're gonna have 4 Vec next turn. But I think we should be fine. Alright, so 1 Leaper. Okay. Luckily, the Leaper went for the building instead of the tank. So who are we dealing with here? So both of these are shooting at the tank. If we move the tank, we're fine. So we're really just dealing with these two. We should be able to just deal with them relatively easily. Yeah. So let's just move this guy out of the way. Don't need him getting shot by our laser mech. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. Right, because it's... well, if we put him here... No, that's still fine. Right? He dies for that. He's on fire, but that doesn't really matter. And then we can just ram into him. And skirt. just just get him out of the way, and they're both just firing on him, and then we'll just heal, because why not? Yeah, and then we're fine. Yeah, they can miss for all I care. Awesome. So we get that 2 reputation, start us off. Then we'll have a nice, hopefully relatively easy. So we have defensive shields active for the remembrance point. So 3 of these buildings are going to start with a shield on them. And we have mines. So this is going to be a relatively easy mission, I would think. If either of these AI sets themselves up to on one of these mines, we'll be totally okay. So why don't we do something like this, right? Kind of giving these leapers a chance to just land right on these mines. It's like, please go ahead. Alright, that's fine too. Yeah. We're still pretty good for us. You also have to keep in mind that we could use our defense mech to pull things into the mines. Right off the bat, I think we just... Yeah, this doesn't seem like doesn't really seem like too much of a hard turn, to be honest. We may have should have just killed this guy first, because then we're not standing on a spot that's on fire. Either way, we would have been standing on a spot that's on fire. So that's fine. We'll take some fire damage, and then I think we just block a spawn. Fortunately, he can't shield himself. That would be pretty good, but we'll still work with what we got. Probably don't want to be blocking too much with the defense mech, but hey, oh, so we got 1 kill with the mine. All right. So, what are we thinking here? What are we thinking? Well, if we shoot this guy, or if we hit him with the charge mech, he'll land in the fire, die to fire damage. If we moved him and then healed, moved over here and healed, then we could be free to shoot this guy and block a spawn. I think that sounds pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and do that, right? We'll move and heal, block of spawn. We'll shoot here, block another spawn. And then, there we go. So he'll die to the fire damage. We see fire damage is always going to be first. We're going to have to make sure that we heal at least once, because he will die. We do not want that. Abe being on the charge mech is very useful. But we're only dealing with 2 guys. Nice. 1 guy. Okay. So we really can just use this turn to heal up. So we can repair him, put him on to block a spawn. We'll just kind of keep blocking this spawn here, and then he can just kill the sleeper. So yeah, so now we're still only dealing with 2 enemies. Both of them have pretty restricted movement too, because if they want to go around us, okay, so the leaper's going there. All right, so we don't have to worry about this guy. This guy's gonna hit the shield. So I think we're pretty much set here. We'll just we'll heal up because we can, and yeah. We'll be all set. Awesome. Alright, so like we said before, I definitely want to do the Archivist Hall. Archivist Hall. And it's to destroy the dam. We know we can do that with one shot with either the laser mech or the charge mech. Defense mech's not going to be doing too much, but he will be able to pull things into the water that we create with the dam. And we're going to start with some water on the ground already as well. So let's go ahead and do that. It's 2 leapers. Alright. And a shell scion. Shell scion's not that terrible with the leapers because both of our guys are going to be, if they're right up against either the laser mech or the charge mech, both of them already do 2 damage and they only need to deal 1. So we're relatively safe here. Let's just let them do it, and then we'll just set things up to come into the dam. If they want to grab us, go ahead. We're kind of risking things here a little bit with the placement of the defense mech. This leaper could jump in. And of course the pot, yeah, see that's what I kind of feared. Now it's actually not that terrible, only because we can just use the charge mech to or the defense mech to pull him right into him, and then he would die. So that's not terrible. We do also have to keep in mind that we have a time pod here, and we're gonna need to pick that up before we blow up the dam. So I think we're gonna start with that, right? Let's just, let's kill all the things. And we'll kind of get ourselves into position to potentially grab that time pod. Something I learned recently was that if you're trying to get Perfect Island and you get a time pod, you do actually need to pick it up. It is an objective. Alright, so both of these guys are lined up kind of perfectly, and we can wipe out a spawn. Oh, we have to block spawns too. I always forget that. So maybe we just don't do it just yet. How are we dealing with these guys? Yeah, unfortunately the attraction pulse only works from a straight line, so like I can't pull this guy because he's standing right there. So that makes things a little bit trickier. We do have to think about blocking spawns if we want to get Perfect Island. So if I block this spawn here, can he would kill this and it would only deal 1, so we wouldn't break the dam immediately because we're trying to block the spawn, right? We just have to worry about this guy. We should be fine actually, because we can just shield both of these and try and pick up the time pod next turn, something like that. Then we can just move here, and then we'll shield both of these buildings. So we'll be okay with that. Alright. Yeah, that extra, I always think about when I destroy the dam, I always just forget about blocking spawns. Alright. So we should actually be fine. If we can block both of these, we'll get it, and we can kill this dam this turn. We just have to deal with this guy, basically. We actually should be fine with that. Both of these guys died at destroying the dam. Let's just pick up the time pod first, or do we need to? Yeah, we're gonna need to. Can we do that this turn, though? We might not be able to do it this turn, so maybe we just save it for the last turn to destroy the dam. Now we're dealing with we don't actually have to worry about this guy, right? He's just gonna hit the building. Do have to worry about this guy. It's our attack order. Alright, we should actually still be able to block too, right? And then we can just kill the dam next turn. We just need to make sure that we're getting this time pod. So, trying to think. So right, this pulls in, so we could potentially pull him into the water. Right, we could ram this guy, blocking us this spawn, right? But then we'd only blocking one. And I can't shoot this way because it'll deal damage to both of these buildings. Definitely don't want that. So maybe what we do is, okay, we can take our laser mech here. No, because I still gotta have to think about how I'm blocking spawns. Oh, I think we can still do it. We'll just heal. Yeah. I think we're okay. Right, we'll do something like that. We get the level up. Go here. Move him here. And then we're all set to grab the time pod next turn and destroy the dam. And we're gonna get blocked 2 spawns. So that's solid for us. Alright. So can actually kill both of these guys. And pick up the time pod. There we go. And we'll just heal up because we can, right? Boom. It's a nice little combo we had going there. Sweet, and we got that promotion too. So let's see what we get this time pod. Vortex Fist, a prime class weapon. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. That's crazy. So damage and push all adjacent tiles to the left. Huh. It requires 1 power, but it does 2 damage to everything, but 2 self damage. We'll probably just end up selling this. We don't have the reactor cores to, I mean, well, let's see what we get for our upgrade. Yeah, it's grid defense. So not really the best, not the worst. So I think we'll probably end up selling this Vortex Fist only because we just don't have, we really, if we see here, we would really need 2 reactor cores to make it effective. And then probably a 3rd just to get put into health, right? I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it just, I think it's a little too situational. A little too situational. We're definitely going to be looking for weapons to put on our defense mech here instead of the attraction pulse. So we have this reactor core. I think we want to put that in allies immune. Or do we start putting maybe into health or movement, right? Probably put it into movement. Because, I mean, allies immune is good. But the only guy we really need to worry about for allies to stay immune is our defense mech, right? because Abe is just going to soak up most of the shot. Like if he's positioned that he's only taking 1 damage, which we can usually set up most of the time. So let's just get movement up. Let's install there, get some movement extra, and then let's go to the library. All right, so no movement based one, so we can kind of just set up wherever we want. Let's do something like that. Cool. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. That's also fine. Alright. Unfortunately, we can't move over here. Even with that +1 movement, that would have been nice. I mean, we really need to just worry about these two, right? I don't know if we're going to be able to deal with them. That's kind of unfortunate. We use a tractor beam, a tractor pulse, whatever that move is called, traction pulse. We can push or pull the scarab in front of this firefly, and then we'd have the clear shot. And he would block here, and then we can block a spawn. We can block 2 spawns, actually, both. Yeah, so let's do that. So we'll do that. That leaves him free to kill that guy. And then we'll just block a spawn. Awesome. So we're literally only dealing with these 2 guys. We just have to be careful about where we place ourselves. Because if we look at the turn order, both these guys are going to attack first. And then this guy. So this guy's basically dead. We could just let him fire, because he's only going to deal 1 damage. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, that's actually fine, right? We kill both of these guys, and this rocket's going off either way. So let's do that. This rocket's gonna go off, and then we'll just we'll heal both our guys, blocking 2 spawns still. And they're in relatively good position for both of these. Yeah, these guys aren't a problem to deal with. Yeah, I think we just keep it simple, right? Actually not as simple as I thought. I have to keep in mind that our laser mech still is hurting our own friends. So that kind of makes things a little bit different. Let's actually reset here. Let's actually reset. Because... Because we can't pull him into here. We could, but... maybe we just pull the Shell Scion, and that gives us a clear line of sight here. And we can just kill him. Yeah, so let's do that. We're not going to block all the spawns again. But I still think killing these guys is the most important thing. We can actually block this spawn right here. That's fine with me. So we'll be at 1, but again, we're blocking a spawn. That's on turn 2. That's effectively getting a kill, you know. Okay. So, we're still okay here. So we'll just do that. It's shooting into nothing. We can pull this leaper. So now our satellite's definitely gonna launch. Totally fine. And we can just kill that leaper right here. And then we're all set. Alright. So we just got our boss, our leader. And we know it's going to be the goo leader. So the goo, I believe, starts out with 3. So 3 health, I'm pretty sure. Which we can kill immediately with the laser mech. Now our goal is to destroy 5 goos. If we want perfect island, we're going to have to do that. As well as protect the corporate tower, of course. I think we'll be okay. So no movement stoppers. So there we go. And we got this nice 2 big bodies of water to potentially pull things into. Yeah, so it does start with 3. But we have the shell scion. Alright. So I still think we're okay here. Can actually, okay. So we'll do something like this, right? Push. Oh, do I? I really need to like. I really need to like make sure. Okay, we're resetting because I know there's a better way of doing this. That's unfortunate that we had to waste our first turn doing that, but I need to make sure we're checking all our options before we go ahead and do that. Right, because we wanted our defense mech to move here, pull this shell scion. Oh no, because we have to think about our turn order. Right? I mean, we can just move out of the way, not deal with this guy. We definitely need to deal with the goo. We'll take how much damage? I'll take 1 damage. I think we can afford that. Yeah, to kill a goo. Oh, and the goo's gonna block a spawn. I'm okay with that. And then we'll just move out of the way. We'll kind of just go over this way. Cool. So these goos are still massive, but this one already just took a damage. So makes our lives a little bit easier, at least. Alright. So let's think about how we want to do this. It's our turn order here. This guy's shooting first. I mean, that's fine. We can just kill this goo right here. He won't take a damage. Let's take another damage, but he'll still be fine from this, and then we just got to be careful. Right? We just got to be careful. Maybe we should have put that extra reactor core into Alloy's immune, right? We were saying how we didn't really need to worry about it, and here I am worrying about it. I think we have to do this, right? Just kill him with that. I think because we need to start killing the goos, right? So I think it's worth it taking some damage. So that's fine. These goos, if they line up all right, we should be okay. We're just gonna be dealing with a lot of enemies. So maybe we just move him out of the way, right? Move him out of the way, let him move here, and then we can kill 3 goos on one turn. So let's do that. Because we could potentially get 3 goo kills. This guy only has 1. And that way we're kind of setting it up so that we don't have that many enemies, because this guy would just split into 2 more. We really don't want that. Okay. So this guy actually will actually kill this one, I'm pretty sure. So we still have plenty of turns to get the kills that we need to get. Just how am I dealing with the... So that's the thing, right? I actually think we're still okay. Let me just think about this real quick. We can't. This leper would just crash into our defense. I mean, we could heal it and then it would be okay. But then we're losing out on an action with him. We could just... Yeah, because then if we did that, then we wouldn't be able to shield these buildings potentially. Yeah. Oh. So we could line up, right? There's 3 shots. That'd kill both of these. Then our defense mech is destroyed. I mean, do we really care about this pilot that much? Right? Because the only thing that we just... I mean, yeah, it would die, but then we'd lose it for the rest of the battle. But Fenrir doesn't really have like that much experience. And this is kind of really difficult to get more experience, so it's not like he'll be leveling up anytime soon. So I think it might be worth it just to let him get hit, just to deal with this guy. And then let's just, you want to just, I think maybe doing just a little suicide. Just that we're not dealing with the Leaper later. Yeah, I think that's probably worth it for us. Okay. So none of them are attacking the corporate tower. Unfortunately, we're probably going to be taking some grid damage here. Yeah, because this little spot of water, like normally I would just be able to body block here. But alas, we cannot. Because then we wouldn't be able to attack from it. So I think either way we're gonna, no matter how we want to do it, we're gonna be taking potentially 2. Let me see here. Could be taking at least 1 grid damage. I mean, we're gonna get our objectives, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. I think we still go for it. I think we're just gonna have to accept that's what's happening, basically. Maybe could have just used the defense mech to just shield something instead of sacrificing himself like that. But then we'd be dealing with a leaper, and that would just be even more annoying. Still think that's the right call. All right, so we'll deal with that guy and that guy, right? And then hopefully we just get a grid defense, or maybe we should have just killed both of these guys, and then we could potentially resist that. I'm actually not sure if we can resist that, but that's okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So yeah, we do take 1 grid damage. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're at 4 still, but we did get a perfect island. Alright, let's pour one out for Fenrir here. I understand. Alright, so do we want the shock cannon to give something, an extra thing for the brute, for our brute class weapon, our charge mech, I mean. Shenrong, after attacking, gain 1 free tile movement. That could be good, especially since we just lost one. Or we can get more grid power. It's probably not what we're gonna do. So we're still fine with grid. Yeah, this is just too expensive for us, right? It requires 2 default. And it only deals 1 damage. So it's going to need 3 reactor cores just to make somewhat decent. So we're taking Chen. We'll put her right onto our pilot here. Alright, so let's spend our reputation. We definitely know we're selling this Vortex Fist. I don't think we're going to be using it. Alright, so we have the Teleporter. Interesting. That's very strong. So let's see what else we have. We have the Vice Fist. We have the Pull Tank. It's also expensive. And then we have the Electric Whip. Also very expensive. I think we're definitely going to pick up this one here, and then we can sell it for the Attraction Pulse. Because this is really strong. I think we definitely want to swap out for that, and then we'll buy 1, 2, 3. Get a grid power back up to 5. And then let's see how we're kind of placing that out. We're definitely going to put that right here. And then why don't we... Alright, just for my sake, let's just put that here. My OCD would not allow that. Let's put 1 reactor core into Ally Immune. And then the remaining 2... Let's put the extra one here. And then probably up her health, because then we can position ourselves to because she moves after she attacks, right? We could teleport her and then potentially move to a block of spawn or something like that. We want to make sure that we'll have the most health here. We're not wasting turns healing up. So let's do that. Yeah, because everything has 4 movement right now. It's pretty strong. I'm cool with that. Alright, so that's been Island 1. We're going to pick up next episode with Island 2. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Catch you next video.